Let's have a look at the Play Store and figure out how to get new applications for our Android tablets. So this is the Apps button. It may not have a circle around it on your tablet. That brings up a list of all the applications that you have already installed on your tablet, and you swipe, of course, to go page by page. And also here's a set of widgets. We'll come back to that and see how to use widgets later on. So to get to the Play Store, there's a Shop button. So just click the Shop button, and there's the Play Store. So on all these applications, you'll be able to search by finding a little magnifying glass. And here it's in the upper right corner. So click that, we get a keyboard. And then we can type, and it begins to show us things that we've done before. So let's look up alchemy. Notice I've just started to type, and it's already shown me alchemy game. So click that. Here's alchemy, and notice the check mark is we already have it installed. So here we have each app page looks like this. So let's find one. Let's go back. Again, we're using the back button. Back. Let's look at one first that we have not installed. So here we see the description. We can swipe to see pictures of the game. There's an install button. Let's look at the video. Okay. So this looks pretty interesting. So again, the buttons disappeared, but to go back, just hit the back button. We can see one of these pictures larger, just click on it. And again, the back button. So that looks like a nice game. That looks like it might be fun, so let's install it. Now, every app is probably going to have permissions, things that it wants to do, and you needn't be frightened of these things. It talks about storage, modify and delete the contents of your SD card. Well, what it really means is it wants to save some settings, like how many new materials in the alchemy game that you have created. Read phone status. This doesn't have a phone, but if you had a phone, it probably wants to know if you're making a call so it can get itself out of the way. It wants to communicate with its server, probably to sell you things, since it's a free game to start with. And then let's look at all of them. So these are normal kinds of things. So we accept the permissions and it installs the game, and you're seeing a progress bar there up on the top. So it downloaded the game, installed the game. Okay, so now we can run the game immediately or uninstall the game. These buttons have changed up here at the top. Let's go back to the home screen, and there it has already put an icon here on our home screen that we can move or remove. So then we can run the game. Just click on the icon. Now this is designed for phones. It immediately switched to portrait mode. I don't know why the screen is black. That's strange. Let's try that again. Maybe it's because we picked the HD version and this won't work on this particular tablet. Alchemy Classic HD is not. Do you want to close it? Okay, let's close it. Now let's go back and get the non-HD version and see if that was our problem. So what we're doing now is we're trying to figure out, okay, we tried an app, it didn't work. Let's make a guess about. So back to the Play Store. So this is scrollable on the left side. We're back to the page. So we can uninstall that app because it didn't work for us. That's all it took. It's uninstalled. Let's try Classic. Again, accept the permissions. Here's an app that costs $1 that's Alchemy Cheats. It looks like I've already installed Alchemy Cheat Sheet 2. Okay, so that's designed for phones. Let's go back and look at that. Did that say no? It said designed for phones. Interesting. Okay, let's go back to the home screen and see if it works. There's our icon. Let's give it a try. It works this time, at least it's beginning to work. So you may not think you want to play games, and that's fine, but let me just point out that games are an interesting way to get used to the way your tablet works. You install a free game, you get to understand what applications are like and what it is to install them and update them and so forth. Don't put your credit card into your machine. into your tablet. There won't be problems with you accidentally buying things in games and so forth. Free games many times want to sell you something with what are called in-app purchases. So just beware, but anyway, games are an interesting way to learn to use your tablet. And by tilting the screen, then I set it back into landscape mode. So that's the Play Store. Now, one of the things that often happens is you'll need to update apps, and they will notify you automatically that they need to be updated. Let's get rid of this off the screen. So remove. So let's talk about email briefly. Oh, let's talk about updated apps. Let's see how we figure out how to update our apps. Let's go back here. Let's figure out where we can go. Okay, so I just tried things, and I clicked on the Play Store, and I got a menu. You see the ... there? Let's go back. That's a signal that you might find a menu there. You can see that right here at the top. So whenever you see that, you might discover a menu. So here's My Apps. We're looking for ways to update. So there, I found it. So by finding a menu in the Play Store, going to My Apps, it talks about, okay, here we can update all my apps. So let's do that. Okay, app permissions, it's asking me to accept my LastPass. You see, recently updated. So that looks like the only one that was asking for an update. So it sorted that business, the fact that it needed to be updated and needed me to accept something to the beginning. So we discovered how to update our applications. So let's review how we did that. Home, okay. So what we did was we went to the applications page with the icon here, the 6 dots. We get the application screen, and then we went to the Play Store with the shop button. We found the menu at the top, and we went to My Apps, and then there was, if any applications need to be updated, there'll be an update or an update all button here. And you may have to accept new terms and conditions or new permissions or something for these applications when you update them. And there's a check mark. Remember we talked about, well, when you turn your tablet on, it may use up all the bandwidth that you have for a while and disturb you because it wants to update its applications. You can turn off automatic updating for the applications just by clicking on them and unchecking the automatic update. So that's the Play Store and how to update your applications.